Everyone. In the last class, we have studied about the changes or the consequences after the 1857 revolt. So, one of its consequences is the direct rule of the crown over India. So, direct rule of the crown means the crown or the Queen of England will be directly ruling over India. She will be looking after each and every matters of India. Okay, now the company had no uh, uh, power to rule here. So, during her rule, during the crown's first rule, Lord Canning became the Viceroy. Okay, so this part we have studied in the last class, and today we are going to start Indian Councils Act of 1861. These are some acts. These are the acts which have brought about administrative changes in ruling India by the British. So just because their ruling system was not satisfying to the people of India, they are now to change the system of rule in India, change the system in order to make the people of India comfortable or to make them satisfied so that Indians trust them and does not revolt or protest in the future. So, what are the terms of the Indian Councils Act? First of all, we must know that this Indian Councils Act brought about changes in the central administration and provincial administration. So, in the center, what the changes were, and in the provinces, what kind of changes were made? We will see here. This one we have already discussed in the class. So, in in the central administration, that means the administration is which is in the center, that will have a particular change in its style of administration, and in provincial level also there have been some changes made through the Indian Councils Act of 1861. So let us see uh, when what kind of changes were brought here. So, although the Queen of Victoria promised to the Indians that she will give a fair kind of administration to the Indians, or she will have fair attitude towards the Indians, but in fact, in reality, this was not the truth. Okay, in the 1858 Government of India Act, no such kind of administrative changes were made to satisfy these demands. So in the 1858 Act, we have seen that there was no such clause that Indians can take part in the administration. There was no such clause. Okay, no Indians were permitted to take part in the new administration. So the reality was not like as it was promised. So what happened, this this dissatisfaction in the minds of educated Indians led the British Parliament pass this new act. Okay, the Indians who were educated, they knew that although the British promised a new kind of administration, but we Indians are not satisfied. The Government of India Act 1858 is not satisfactory to that level, that it is not permitting any right to the Indians to join the administration. Okay, because why joining the administration or to be in the administration is necessary? Because if we Indians, we are not in the administration or in the government, that means we are not knowing, or we are not helping our people. Okay, so if the government body is entirely the British people, they can do anything they want. So the Indians wanted to join the administration, or at least a few members, if they are there in the administration, it will be a relief to the other Indians. Okay, so that those few in the administration, they will take up issues of other fellow Indian people and discuss in the administration, and they will also let the other fellow Indians know what is going on in the British administration. So that is one of their aim, that Indian educated Indians aim that they should be in the administration. So this kind of dissatisfaction was so much that lastly the British Parliament had to pass this new act in 1861. Okay, so through this 1861 act, what happened? Educated Indians were made familiar with the new administrative structure. What is the new administrative structure? That is, will be in the central administration and in the provincial administration. Why it has become new? Because from now we will see that Indians are being taking part here. So this kind of administration is new. If Indians are taking part, the government body have to be changed. Yes, so because earlier the governing body consisted of suppose 10 members. Now with along with that, more members will be there from Indian uh, side. So now the entire governing body will be changed. So in the central administration level, what kind of changes were done? So we will see here at first. So in the central administration, what changes were done? So first of all, we will see legislative or changes in the legislature. Legislature means the body which make powerful decisions like lawmaking. Okay, legislature is mainly related to lawmaking body, or it can make or change laws. Okay, so in this legislative assembly or in this legislature body, what kind of changes were done in central administration? So don't get confused about legislative body or executive body, all this, because in the center also there will be legislative body, executive body. In the provincial level also there will be these bodies, because in the center also lawmaking body will be there. So in that body, how many Indians were permitted to join? And in the executive body of the central administration, how many Indians were permitted to join? How the entire central administration changed mainly in these two levels, we will see this. So here we will see decentralization of power, because in the center also there will be a legislative body now, and in the state level also, or in the provincial level also, there will be another legislative body mainly to look after their issues of their area. Okay, the issues of their own provinces. So uh, what is what changes were done in this central legislative assembly? See, this act empowered the viceroy to nominate 6 to 7 maximum 12 members in the central legislative assembly. So first of all, the viceroy will be nominating 6, minimum 6, okay, minimum 6 to maximum 12 to the central legislative assembly. It was mandatory to have half of the total members from non-official members, and these non-official members were regarded as additional members in the assembly, and their term of office was 2 years. So it is in page number 14. I think you have already understood. If you have understood it, you can link it up. So first of all, we will see that there are maximum 6 to total, or minimum 6 to maximum or total 12 members in the legislative assembly, and those members will be nominated by the viceroy, and half of them will be non-official, and it can be also termed as additional. Okay, so that half of the members, half of the total members, if the total number is 12, half is 6. Okay, if the total number is 6, if suppose this legislative assembly has 6 total members, and half of them 3 will be additional or non-official. So uh, their term of office is 2 years only. This half non-official members term of office is 2 years only. So what we have seen here, first point is that viceroy nominates members of central legislative assembly. Okay, this is the first point of legislative, mainly the legislative branch. This is the first point, that viceroy nominates. Second point is that how many members? minimum 6, maximum 12. Okay, so third point is, if minimum 6, then half of that will be non-official, or if it is the maximum number 12, then half of them will be non-official. The non-official members are also regarded as additional members, so their term of office is 2 years. So I hope you have understood this one. So this, among these half members, some of them were Englishmen or some of them were native people. Now can you understand the part here? In the Legislative Assembly, suppose in a year we have seen that the maximum total number was 12. Okay, half of them were permanently from the British side. Those are not additional or non-official members. The other half, which is non-official, whose term of office is 2 years, in that half portion, sometimes, that means in that another half or 6 portion, sometimes there will be Englishmen or native people, both. It is a that additional member will be the combination of both, or sometimes native people only, or sometimes Englishmen. So in that 2 years office, only Indians were permitted to join. Understood? In this, in Indians, those who are willing or those who are permitted to join in the legislature, they are permitted only in this additional or non-official members group. Understood? There, that means term of office will be 2 years. So who were the first of the Indians to join this British or central administration? The names are here: Raja Bahadur Dinkar Rao, Raja Bahadur Narinder Singh of Patiala, and Raja Bahadur Deonarayan. So these are the people who, these are educated people. They were the first ones, their names comes in the first, who joined in the legislative, or who joined in who got a chance to join in the Central Legislative Assembly. It is the Central Legislative Assembly. Don't forget it, because in the provincial administration, in the next part, we will get Provincial Legislative Assembly, or you can say State Legislative Assemblies. So getting a position in the Central Legislative means what? Suppose we are Indians in the British Empire. We live in the British Empire, and in that government, some of our Indian people are getting chance to join or getting chance to participate. That means what? That they are our representative. Though those particular 2-3 members or 10 members, whatever the members are in the British administration, they are our Indian representative. They represent us, the Indians. So what do you think, truly, where this truly representative form of government? In a sense, we can say that from this time onwards, after the Sepoy Mutiny, from this period onwards, a representative form of government, okay, in a very slightest sense, it is not entirely a representative form of government, but a kind of representative form of government started. But in a true sense, you cannot say that it was a representative form of government. Understood? Why we cannot say? Because although the British gave a chance of establishing this kind of representative government, but in a true sense, those people who were in the government body were representative of only high class or elite class people. They represented only them, because they were appointed from that class itself. Okay, so they, in that point of time, their main concern was mainly their class. So in true sense, it was never a representative of entire Indian society or entire Indian people. Only one particular class they represented, or they thought of only one particular class. Understood? Still, that is a what to say, that is a defect in the system, but still we must say that it was a huge transformation in the government body, or huge transformation in the British administration, that at least Indians got a chance to participate. So it was an achievement for the Indians, that also legally. So, coming to the next paragraph, see if although the 1861 Act has given some kind of powers to the Central Legislative Assembly, that they can enact laws or on revenue, suppose finance, defense force, okay, protection of territories of Native Indian states, whatever laws they are allowed to make. It is not that every time their law, whatever they have made, is final. Even the viceroy's power is most important here. The viceroy, he can override the decision of the Central Legislative Assembly. So see, Central Legislative Assembly is the is the law making body. It has the power to make laws. So still, their laws cannot be accepted until and unless the viceroy accepts it. So sometimes what happens, if the viceroy didn't want to pass that law, well, even if the Central Legislative Assembly has made it, so if the viceroy wants to override it, he can override it. So ultimate power is in the hands of the viceroy. Okay. Again, I have already told you that this Indian Councils Act 1861 has another uh, creation. First of all, it has created the Central Legislative Assembly, and you will see here the Executive Council in the center itself. A Executive Council. What is the meaning of Executive Council? Simply, it is the body which executes the law made by the legislature. Okay, the legislature only creates a law, or particularly makes a law. Okay, it has the power to make it, but the another work, executing the law, okay, making it fruitful for whoever the law is made, that execution part is done by the Executive Council. Simply a simple example. Okay, so in this Executive Council, how many members were there? It consisted 5 members. Okay, so among the 5 members, 3 of them were to be nominated by the Secretary of State for India, and another 2 of them will be nominated by the British Parliament. Okay, 2 members will be nominated directly by the British Parliament, and the 3 members will be nominated by the Secretary of State for India. And Secretary of State for India, how on what condition he can nominate these 3 members? One condition is that that particular 3 people will have to have a experience of minimum 10 years working in India. Okay, and another 2 members, one of them will be legal member and another will be finance member. That means the 2 members which were to be nominated by the British Parliament, one is a legal member, that is that is executes laws and all, a legal member. Okay, then finance member, look after finance, execution of the financial laws and all, and any kind of works related to finance. Okay, that is done by the finance member. So this compose the Executive Council. And one important thing in this part is that a cabinet system of government, or cabinet system of administration, was introduced in India for the first time by Lord Canning. Okay, the cabinet system means it is a body of ministers working, each working each are working depending on their own field. Okay, they have to look after their own field. Cabinet of ministers has several ministers for several purposes. So that cabinet system has been introduced by Lord Canning during this time. What we can see that this executive council has 5 members, but still the viceroy has the full authority to run or conduct the administration of this executive body smoothly. So Lord Canning, what he has done in this cabinet system, he distributed portfolios. That means it is a work, or it is a entire um agenda, whatever work they have. Okay, it is distributed among the members, and they in that particular cabinet, they will look after each work individually. Understood? They will run their portfolios in their own. So it is a new system which in India no one has experienced before. So it is a new system introduced by the uh, Viceroy Lord Canning. So what changes under the Indian Councils Act we have seen in the central administration is that although legislative or executive bodies have been formed, the entire administration will be looked after by the viceroy also. And who was the viceroy during that period? Canning. So Canning will look after all this, whatever activities were done, whatever laws were made, everything will be looked after by the viceroy of India. And this decisions made by the parliament, sorry, decisions made by the legislative assembly can be overridden by the viceroy. So, what is a cabinet system? It is a government in which a real executive power rests with a cabinet itself. Okay, and minister who are in charge of any work are collectively responsible to the legislature. So, suppose the entire body, okay, executive power rests with them, and each minister individually and collectively are responsible to the legislature. That means executive body and legislative body are connected. The executive body, every member individually are also responsible to the legislature, and they collectively are also responsible to the legislature, both individually or and collectively. So it is a this kind of system is called cabinet system. So next part is about provincial administration. Provincial administration means state governments. Okay, in the center, the entire parts everywhere, they will look through the central administration. But again, they are making provincial administrations. That means what? The decentralization of power. Decentralization, that means power does not only rest with the hands of the center. The states are also given power to look after their own area, like we have central government today and state governments. Okay, in Assam we have our own government, state, that is state government. Okay, and it does not mean that we live under the state government and we have nothing to do with the central government. Okay, this is not in that way. We are connected to the central government through the state government. In uh, that is the decentralization of power. Okay, and this is for the first time through the act of 1861, decentralization of power took place. Okay, in India, basically in this kind of administration. So prior to the British rule, India does not have any kind of administration like this. Earlier there was monarchy. So this all these things India is experiencing is very new to them. Okay, so the state governments, it is called provincial administration during that time. Provinces or provincial administration, whatever it means, the state governments. So what changes were under the provinces or the states? We have to see, and in order to know that, we have to know how was the condition earlier than this 1861 act. How was the condition of the provinces, or how was the condition of the state administrations? So we can see that in 1833 there was a act, and through that act, what happened? the presidencies of Bombay, Madras, as we all know, they were not allowed to practice any lawmaking, or they were not entrusted with any kind of legal power. That means making law and all cannot be done by these provinces during that time. Okay, the only the British governor had the power to do this. So who was the that means where was the governor stated during that time? In Bengal. Okay, and that particular time it was named as Governor General. Okay, during that time what happened, only the Governor General can make laws, or any kind of lawmaking or this kind of powers were not with the hand of the provinces. Mainly the presidencies also, they don't have any this kind of lawmaking or legal powers. But this act of 1861 tried to end this thing. Okay, whatever power they were deprived of by through the act of 1833, all this thing ended after the enactment of the act 1861. So 1861 Act, what it has done? It has given permission to the Bombay and Madras presidencies to create legislative councils. Okay. So now in the provinces also we can see legislative assembly. Now one thing you have to keep in mind, that like today in each and every state of India there is state government. That time it was different. Okay, that time declaring each boundary as a state was a problem. It The states came up it is a very recent process. The formation of states and state boundaries, it is a very recent process. That time up to the portion the British is ruling, and within that portion some areas are created as presidencies, and these presidencies will look after that their own areas, and under each presidency will be some other regions also. Okay, so suppose under Bengal presidency, sorry, Calcutta presidency, the neighboring areas will be also there. Under Madras presidency, the neighboring area will be also there. It is, and in the Bombay presidency, its neighboring areas will be looked after by the Bombay presidency. This way the formation of provinces took place initially. Okay, at first it was like this. So later on, after very it was a long period of time that in India the formation of states as boundaries took place. Okay, like we already know, every one of us know that even Assam at one point of time it was known as Borohom. Entire seven sisters were connected together. Okay, that was the map of Assam earlier. But now, today, there is no Borohom. Our land Assam has a particular own map. Okay, which is very new in terms of history. I'm telling, it is not that the map is created yesterday. That means it is new. This creation of today's map is very recent process. Earlier, it was, even the portions of Assam and all were also under this one presidency. So what to say here, so why I'm explaining this is because every part of the British Empire, we cannot say that each and every part had one state administration. Only in some few areas state administrations were established. Okay, and first of all, in Bombay and Madras we can see the formation of this legislative council. And when the legislative council or assembly or this legislature body was created, how many members will be there? Minimum 4, maximum 8. That means if only there are 4 members, if there is a limitation, it cannot be less than 4 or it cannot be more than 8. Within that number there should be the composition of the legislative assembly in the provincial administration. And here also half half of such members were to be non-official members. Like in the Central Legislative Assembly, here also half of them will be non-official, and their term of office was also 2 years. The non-official members are here also. Suppose if the number of members is 8, 4 of them will be non-official and their term of office will be 2 years. So this thing is same like Central Legislative Assembly. And so which places got the right or got the permission to create legislative council? We can see first Bengal province, Northwest Frontier province, and the Punjab. Okay. uh, so one fact here is that although the provinces are given legal powers, but very limited. Okay, it is not that the provinces can enjoy enormous legal power here. No, here also their powers are very limited. That means having legal power, not having legal power is becoming the same thing, because they cannot exercise to that extent. Okay, like the Central Legislative Assembly and all. That way they cannot enjoy their legal powers. At the same time, we can see that the Governor General, like earlier, like I have already told before studying provincial administration, the Governor General had the power to exercise any kind of legal powers. So here also the by this act of 1861, we can see the Governor General of Bengal. Okay, it has been given unlimited uh, legal powers, unlimited powers. So as a result, what happened? As a result, another uh, provinces, their power has been reduced enormously. Although they have powers, they cannot enjoy it, they cannot practice it in that way. So having or not having became the same thing, but only in name. By the act, it was just in name, their powers were just in name. All very few powers they could enjoy, but it was not like that they are given legal powers and they can enjoy it by their own ways. It was not like that. Reality was not like that. So final, although, so as we have already seen that in the Central Legislative Assembly the Viceroy has the ultimate power, and here in provincial assemblies, uh, whoever was the Governor General of Bengal, okay, he got the ultimate power. So what happened? In this way, the Governor General, he got the right to declare any kind of legal or for legal laws. Okay, declaration of any kind of laws was only the right of the Governor General. It was not like anyone can declare any kind of law. Declaring of a particular law, that is a right. Okay, that is a right, and that could be only enjoyed by the Governor General of Bengal. And although the councils have some power of making laws or executing laws, but on the other hand, we can see that the Governor General, the Viceroy, and also the Governor General, they have enormous power. Even they can enjoy, they can do anything, they can uh, create any kind of laws without even consulting with the councils, without even asking, without even taking permission of the councils, without consulting with them also, he can exercise any kind of power. So creating this kind of representative government was how much successful, you can understand from here. Whether these representative governments, whether these provincial administration legal bodies, central administration legal bodies, whether those bodies were that much successful. So you have to think on your own. Okay, but still this kind of change has occurred in the political history of India. That was a great thing. So that is why, although with some defects, the 1861 act can be said that it was the beginning of representative form of government in uh, constitutional history of India. So although there are many defects, although there some this kind of administration was not 100% successful as representative form of government, but still we can say that representative form of government started only after the 1861 Act. So I think you have understood up to here. From next class we will see local self government. As we have seen central government, we have seen provincial administration, and here another thing, another form of government body, there is local self government. What is this kind of government, how it worked, we will see in the next class. Thank you so much.